evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the PFL. I'm just making sure my camera's not too zoomed in. Give me a second. Let me just drop it just a slight bit to the back. Okie dokie. Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. Welcome back to the PFL. We were here last week. If you were here last week and you did watch last week, then what you will know is that today we are in the knockout stages. We have finished with the group stages now, and that will no longer be a problem for us. It was a very, very successful group stage, I think, for the PFL and for what we were doing. And we managed to get through all the problems. All the groups. We have a 16-team knockout bracket now, two-legged knockout bracket, which will be taking place for you. I have just had to scoff my dinner. I didn't manage to finish it. The unfortunate part of having a full-time job and responsibilities of cooking your own food and stuff is that, unfortunately, it takes a lot of time, and that time digs into sort of, it's now, nearly 8 o'clock. I'm still not finished with my food, but we've got to do this. We've got to get the cast out the way, so let's hope there's some breaks in between the games so that I can finish me enchiladas and broccoli sticks. Yeah, eat healthy, everybody. But no, today we have got these teams who are going to be competing very, very strongly against each other. Waha versus Digital Sport. So Digital ex-winners of the competition. Waha obviously a completely new organisation. However, the players on that team are no prisoners when it comes to the PFL in competitions. You've got Pulgish as the manager of that team. You've got Luke R1 and players of that calibre sort of featuring within that side. They've got Warren as well up there, up top. Waha are probably the favourites to win this competition, but Digital, with that sort of they've only got one player from their original roster. But with that previous glory, they've still got a bit of dust onto their name, so maybe they can keep that going. The look of the knockouts can work for them. It is going to be 2 legs, and we will be watching 2 legs of this game as well. The only game this evening we'll be watching the full 2 legs of, actually. But yeah, so just to go through then, I was trying to get it to work on here, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't having any of it. I'll try maybe one more time. Let's see if we can get it one more time, because it'd be great to show you this visual of the bracket, which Moe has kindly done for us. And I think maybe I've cracked the code. Okay, so we'll just have to keep scrolling down then. Okay, brilliant. This is here. This is the bracket for the knockout stages. So if we were to have a look at this, it shows that Misa Esports and Leco Esports there competing in the first tier of the match. Cantera FC versus Nemesis below them. Class versus IIP Whitebears. PFC Elite versus Neom. PCS Esports versus Krasnodar. For the win versus GSK. Waha Digital and Famalicão Gil Vicente. So what that means is the winner of this game against Waha and Digital plays against the winner of Famalicão and Gil Vicente. So we could have a situation where we have Waha, who has many members of Famalicão, playing against Famalicão in the next round of the knockouts. Again, that is crazy that it's seeded in this way. But again, it means it creates some very, very interesting knockout stage matches in the earlier stages. Then that'll be the quarterfinals that you'll see that matchup. It could be the finals of the tournament. We're just waiting now for the teams to go in. It looks like they're ready. Pulga's grown his hair out. He used to be skinhead. He's grown some hair now. He looks a lot different. If you don't know, I do have the view of his screen. But what we'll do then, just before we go in, we'll jump onto lineups for these 2 teams. See who they are playing with today. We have got then on the side of Waha in goal. They have got, let me see. The names are always so small when you have it in studio view. Someone's got a DC apparently on Digital Sports. 1 second. But whilst I have that in mind, it means I can take a little bit longer to go through these lineups. So, Benito ACM in goal. They've got Suso at LCB. They've got Atsu at CCB. They've got Latov at RCB. Z Swansea at LM. LDM. They've got Dries at CAM. They've got Polgish. RDM. They've got Renato. RM. They've got Rid. And as the left striker, Luke R1. Right striker, Warren. Again, Dries, Luca, both came, I believe, from Famalicão to strengthen this roster. Then you've obviously got Polgish, who's a very, very strong cam, and then Warren as well, who's a French beast up front. It's a very, very strong roster. But Digital Sports, then you've got Cruz, you've got Jeff, Zaquality, Zambi, Dreshka, Bochbert, D the G, who's the big man, Ennis as well. I'm pretty sure he was there from the beginning. HF Bassino, Ray Jaragold, and Mert 11. Now, they weren't too great when we seen them play last time in the group stages, so the hope would be that right now, you know, we want to see them play a bit better. We want to see them perform, and they're going to have to perform, because if they don't perform, they're going to get completely and utterly washed away, because, as I say, Al Waha are one of the strongest teams in the competition, and for good meaning, you know, for good reason as well. But just something to announce to you all, on behalf of the PFL, is you can look forward to having the Euro competition starting on the 14th of March every Saturday. Make sure you follow the PFL Esports Twitter and keep an eye on the Discord. Speak with Moe if you want to get involved and sign up to represent your nation for the Euros. That's going to be a fantastic competition. It always is when we have these sort of competitions here at the PFL. And obviously, Moe is one of the best tournament organisers in the scene. So make sure you give him the support and love he deserves, as always. But it's a very good time to be alive, as we are waiting now, hopefully, not too long until the first game will begin. Again, I'm just waiting to see what the plan is. But I'm not too sure. I am not too sure at the moment. Oh, the game's gone ahead. Oh, right, okay. That's annoying. I was told that there was no... someone was not going to be there. Great. But they have started. Nobody had said they had done. But there we go. We are into the game. And these players and these teams are very, very strong. And Pulga has 720p quality. That is not ideal. Right. What we'll do is we'll switch the streams, just because Pulga's stream is not great quality right now. This is 720p. We want no less than 1080. Otherwise, it's very difficult to see player names, etc. So we will just have to switch that really quickly. There we go. A stream where we can see the player names. And brilliant. Great. Okay, fantastic. Right, here we go. So Luke Renard 1. He's going to pass it back. Oh, and this is Digital Sports, who have these names. Yeah. The consistency across the Pro Club scene with players is very different. You know, some players prefer to have the actual Pro Club's character name. Some players prefer to have the actual account names, such as console names. You know, the EA name, or the PlayStation Network, or the Xbox Live names. And because of that, we will have some players that we haven't got a clue who they are. But we'll just have to go with it. Bassino is going to lose the ball to Sus there. NS in the middle to take the ball back. Wins it. Sends it over to the left-hand side. A nice chipped pass. It's going to be met and passed around well here by Digital Sports, playing in the black kit. Zizou will win it back. It's going to be a foul somewhere along the line, though, and the goalkeeper will get a free kick. Atsu finds it to the left-hand side. Dries is there. He's going to switch the ball quickly to Bryant. Sarin looking to move. Really good skill moves there. Finds it through to Segulas. Amar. Bochberto will clear it. Sarin is there as well. He's going to clear the ball now to the left-hand side. Sus is there. Dries moving the ball around well. Amar. Movement here for Al Waha as they're looking for a goal. Dembouz finds the shot, blocked off by Dreshka. Now Sarin goes back to Seguelas. Amar. Dries. Luke Renard 1. Shot comes in. Dembouz going to save it. Zambi. Jeff clearing the ball away. The header won by Sus. Amar now on the ball. Going to try and plant it forward. NS is going to get interception. Elias does get a foot in. Referee says that they've been fouled somewhere in the build-up there for Al Waha. They've got themselves a free kick. Let's see what they can do with it. Dries will find to Amar. Amar will chip it in. They need to try and header here. They will get one. It's a flick on. Dembouz now tries to flick it across and play a sweaty pass from the byline. But it was blocked off. Either way, though, the clearance will be met with an Al Waha player, and the pressure will maintain. Dries, Sarin, Elias tries to pass it forward. Bassino boots it into row Z behind his goal, gives it away for a corner. Al Waha currently piling on the pressure, looking to find that first goal in this game. And if any team is capable of doing something as such, it is those guys. You know, these players on Al Waha, I've said it, they're favourites probably somewhere to win this game. They've won all of the competitions over in the VPG for FC26. But can they keep it up and can they do the same thing here? That's the question that we've got to ask ourselves. And I don't know what the answer is to that one. But Ennis, we'll go back to Zambi and to Pippo. He's going to try and find it to D the G. D the G's got a bit of time on his hands, though. D the G to Zambi. Zambi's going to clear it. Big here down the line. Dembouz. Saran to Dries. To Luke Renard 1. Where's it going to go? He's going to go back to Amar. Luke Renard 1 back to Amar again. The 1-2s. Tries to flick it across. Luke Renard 1, by the way, top goal scorer probably all time of the PFL. I'm not sure if that fact is completely accurate. But I know that he was the top scorer last season, and he seems to be the top scorer every season. So he is one of the most dangerous players that the PFL has in the ranks. Unbelievable. And Pulga's team, just to mention, it wasn't Al Waha at the time. They've just came underneath this organisation's name. But Pulga's team did win the league competition, beat Famalicão and knock them off the title earlier on. At the end of last year, in December. They were confirmed champions of that. So they'll be looking to keep their trophy cabinet open as far as the PFL trophies do go. Because these guys are good. They're really good. I mean, there's so many different ways we can say it, but they are just good, and that's just the way we're going to have to try and announce them. But here we go, D to G. Counter-attacks at Digital Sports here. They're going to be the way of the play. Bassino down the right-hand side. He's going to go use the width for the field. Ends up going back to Ennis, and to sort of still stunt their progress a little bit. Let all the members get back of the Al Waha side, which you don't really want to do. You want to try and hit them on the counter, hit them on the break while they don't have all members of the team back, but won't make a difference here because Seguelas is going to try and pass it middle. Bocberto, who's doing a great job so far this game, gets the ball. Dreschke to D the G. He's going to be beaten by Bryant. Good from Bocberto to get in there and clear him out of the way. Zizou now on the ball. Dries is going to intercept. He plays across to Luke Renard 1. Bocberto again gets in there. Good interception. The referee blows for half-time. That was a fantastic half. Neither team really having too much chances, but it was definitely a really good start to the knockout stages. It tells you exactly what these teams are about. You know, they're not going to try and do too much because of fear of conceding or getting caught on a counter-attack. You know, it's important that they keep the score tally down, but this is going to be, you know, the way this works is, and this is how Pro Clubs has worked and FIFA worked, for those who may not know. Because of the internet connection problems with FIFA, despite somebody maybe being in Portugal and somebody being in France and somebody being in England, the ping differences are absolutely mental. So based off that and that fact, what you will notice is that teams will have to play two legs in these stages for it to be anywhere competitive. You know, that seems to be the big problem right now. However, what we can do and what we do know is that, you know, right now it is Al Waha, I believe, that are on the home server, which means that they should be winning this game. You know, they want to win their home match because the ping's on their side. Now, sometimes it sort of cancels each other out. If you have two teams that are in neighbouring countries or are quite close together. So I think right now we've got a French team playing against a German team, so the ping issues won't be as severe. However, once you start saying, you know, English versus Portuguese, despite it not being that far away on the map, for whatever reason, FIFA's servers and hosting is appalling for an esport, and obviously because of that, the internet connection is very, very bad, and the ping will reflect as such. But enough of that. The game has started. The second half is here. Al Waha making a move forward. Amar again moving the ball nicely. Dembouz on the ball. Nice control, nice skill. Amar again taking the ball away. Nice over the top. Caught by Dries, but the goalkeeper will have to say no thank you and get a catch on that. Now then, the goalkeeper for Digital Sports. Big clear up to the gold ninja. Here's Ennis to D the G to Gold. Tries to find it forward one more, but will be lost and won back by Al Waha. Now here we go, it's a one-on-one here. Seguelas has gone past the last defender. He's only got the goalkeeper to beat. He tries to find the bottom left corner. Instead, he finds the left corner flag. Not what he was going for there. However, you could see the danger and the speed of getting in behind that defensive line. It shows what happens if Digital Sports throws someone forward and Cruz is forced to make a save there. And here we go. Big clearance down the pitch. Dries. He's going to pass it across to Amor. Amor now. Moving the ball nicely. Lucranal wants to Seguelas. He's going to try and find a shot. Good tackle from Pippo. He's going to clear the ball down the line. It's a good job from Pippo there. Lucranal want to Seguelas. Zambi. Basinio. Atsu. He's going to pass it around. Dries. Switches the plate. Amor. To Saren. To Amor. It's going to be passed around well. Gold. Saren. Moving the ball well. But can they make it count? That's the main thing here. Waha have had a lot of great possession. They've moved the ball really well for the majority of the game. But they haven't really put many shots on target. They haven't tested the goalkeeper. And as a result of that, you know, I can't see them succeeding in this game. Whereas Digital Sport, they could potentially come out of nowhere, surprise us all here, get a counter-attack and goal. And if that happens, then what? I don't know what we can say. That's a good ball. Will be saved by the goalie. Here's Waha. Past the halfway line. Looking to find themselves their first goal of this affair. But neither side have yet made that step up. Pippo with another great interception. Zizou with a great pass here. D to G to start an attack. He finds one more pass on the right to Bassino. On that right-hand side, somebody's crawling at the back post. He tries to go to the byline. Great defending there from Elias. And he will just completely barge and push the oppositions out the way. I believe Elias might be Mr. PG. But I'm not too sure. I might be getting my teams mixed up. However, it's the same character build as Mr. PG. That's a great shot attempt. Amor beating Zizou to Gold. Gold needs to get in there again, really, but he can't quite do so. And it's a chance now for Dembouz to shoot on an open goal. The goalkeeper can't get there in the far left corner, but it's an offside call given. Wow, I thought Waha had finally broken this strong defence, but unfortunately, it's not to be. They're right back to square one here. They're right back to square one. And you didn't expect that to happen. You really didn't expect that to happen, but here we go. Amor moves the ball. Dembouz to Gold. Here's D to G. Finds it to Bokberto. Moves it once more down the line, but it's going to be a slow pass. Not going to be great at all. And won back by Waha. And that's going to be maybe even a red card. Wasn't a great challenge. It's at least a yellow. But I could see it being a red. I think it's just a yellow. Just a caution for now. He's got lucky there. I think that could have potentially fell in the category of being a potential red. At least question of the referee whether it could have been a red. However, no red card given. D to G still trying to find something here. Amor flicks it towards the middle. Brian gets a header down. Seguelas, instead of going for a shot, goes for a pass. I'm not sure why. The confidence not seeming to be there to go for a shot for himself. But Elias has a bit of confidence. Finds it back to Seguelas. Amor scramble of players in the box from Digital Sports, and they do eventually get it clear for a throw-in. But it's going to be a very nervy last 5 minutes for them as they try and keep the ball out of their net. Really, that is all they're going to be doing. They're not even looking for counters. They're not looking to score. They're just looking to keep the ball away. Lucranal won. He's the man you want on the ball if you want a goal. Seguelas, Dembouz. Dreschke does get in there. Dembouz again. Bokberto with a fantastic touch. Amor's going to get the last hit. It's going to go out for a goal kick. Time, precious time being wasted here for Waha on their home server. And there's been some really good performances. Pippo's been exquisite as a centre-back. Bokberto's been fantastic. Bassino's been present for every sort of counter-attacking play. Unfortunately, though, as I say, I think for both teams, there's not really been that many opportunities in this game that have came through. And that is what it is, unfortunately. You just got to you've got to live with it. But here's Luke Renault 1. First time ball. Pippo will clear it down the line. Atsu gets a header back to Brian, but that's going to be the full-time whistle. Referee says that's enough for now. Unreal. Unreal indeed. There you have it. So the first tie will not determine. It will not determine what's going to happen. The next leg will determine who goes through, because the next leg will have extra time and penalties, I believe. So this is going to be interesting then to see what happens here with this next game. I believe it's meant to be... Yeah, so it was meant to start 5 minutes ago, and then we have another game at 20 past. So what's probably going to happen is we're going to have to hope this game starts pretty damn soon, this next match, and people don't go taking a break. You know, people go for a cigarette and go for a number one or a number two, and go for a glass of water. But at the moment, we could do with them getting right into the game, because we haven't really got the time for them to be pissing around, to be honest. We've got to stick to a strict schedule. And one thing that happens a lot, as you'll know, week on week, we get a lot of delays from the players because someone's gone outside or someone's gone for a wander. Sometimes I feel like they're managing playground, and we're talking about 25-plus-year-old blokes who are having a pre-match team talk, you know. So hopefully the game starts soon. Moe's give me a message. B2B. Okay, it looks like they're ready to go straight away. Al Waha here. So that's positive. However, the left wing... Oh, no. No. Oh, yeah. The left mid has disappeared so far for Digital Sports. He's gone for an ice cream or something. So he needs to get back in to business. Very, very shortly. Back into business. Back into business. There we go. Okay, great. They're adding each other now. That's fantastic. We've got to that stage. I thought we were never going to get there, but we've got there. Yippity-you, yippity-yay, yippity-yah. That is what we want to see. You know, that is what we aim for. That's what we strive for. We don't like messing around. We're into the game straight away. So a big credit for these two teams for getting this done, because otherwise we'd be sat here and we probably have to... Well, we might even still have to miss some of the start of the next game. If this one does go to extra time, etc. And that's just, unfortunately, the world of production with pro clubs. Because right now we're in an esport where there's 22 players competing in each game. That is ridiculous. There's no other game that operates in such manner. But, hey-ho, here we go. Let's go. The next game starting very, very shortly between Al Waha and Digital Sports. So, here we go. The team's moving around very well. Again, to start the game. That's what we want to see. We want to see that sort of skillfulness from these players, from these teams. That is what we are aiming for. Dries, not going to be able to do the work. DVG will win the ball back, though. Zizou, now on the counter. Al Waha have pushed many players up here. They've got back very quickly. But this is the importance of Digital Sports, of moving the ball quickly. You know, not going backwards, keep going forwards. If you have to run against 2 or 3 players, then you're gonna have to try. Because at the end of the day, Al Waha are not going to be a team that fall down easily. But the reality is, 1 goal or 2 goals here, and Al Waha are going home. But Gold gets a great interception there. Just need the first time shot to 1-2. Great block from Sus at the back. Zizou will clear it away. Gold gets an interception. He's trying to flip-flap. He looks to find an opening, but that was very, very close for Digital Sports. Probably the best attack we've seen from them so far today. That was close. Close to being phenomenal. Close to being that bit of magic that I was talking about that you need to beat teams like Al Waha. It doesn't just come naturally. It doesn't come naturally to a lot of teams. With Digital Sports, they've done it before against Famalicão, who at the time were unbeaten in about 7 competitions at the PFL. And Digital Sports came through out of nowhere and said, hang on a minute. We're the champions now. This is our turf. Let's see if that same glory can be found here. It's out for a corner. Al Waha have a chance from a set piece to take the lead in the second leg of this competition. However, will they find it? That's the question. Will they be able to find it? The cross comes in. The goalkeeper's out. Cruz has no problem. Into his gloves. Clicks it long into the centre. Elias will get the ball back. Amar now making the move forward as well. Gets the pass through and slots through Seguelas. Pippo gets an interception and Bocberto backs him up. These two players have been key for Digital Sports so far in keeping this a level contest. Sus goes back to Atsu. Atsu makes the move as well. Here's Buffon moving nicely for Al Waha, but can they get the ball down the right end of the field? The field where they want to be. These guys don't want to defend. They don't like it. They're not used to it. They're used to holding possession, playing very, very high pressure, and winning the ball back in their opponent half. They're not used to having to defend. So Guaylas back to Amar. DVG's in early. He gets a great interception. Bocberto tries to find that slot forward. Zizou comes back and wins it though. Now sets off DVG. Bocberto making that forward run as well as Gold is there as a hold-up player. Here we go. Nice pass and movement. But Bocberto getting a bit excited. He wins the ball back though. A chip pass now forward. Atsu forced to make a header from Al Waha. NS taking possession, slowing things down a slight bit. Zizou will be intercepted. It looks like Al Waha have dealt with it again here. But these counter-attacks eventually, you know, one of them should pay off. They are fast, they are nippy, they are going to cause some issues. But we can't complain at the current showing from Digital Sports. It's much better. It's night and day from the last time we've seen these guys play. And here's Gold again. It's 5-on-4. Zizou still got possession. Might get a breakthrough here. The ball just slipped through. It was bounced around like a pinball machine. And Zizou would have been the pinball wizard. However, not on this occasion. Bocberto has to go back to Jeff. Jeff gets intercepted by Zaguelas, who gets the ball back in a very good position for Al Waha here. Saran with a big cross to the back post. Tries to get that header across and head it down. Dresch will go back to the goalkeeper here, Cruz. I'm 30 minutes in. I mean, both teams have been throwing their all on it. Both teams trying to crack the pottery. Trying to find their first goal here. Break the defence down. But this deadlock doesn't seem to be open anytime soon. I'm very happy with the way these teams are participating right now. Here's Elias. Cruz gets a good save in. But Al Waha, the team having the shots at the moment. Digital Sports are just having some attacks. NS will switch the play. Header not to be found. Is it going to be up for a throwing? No, yes, it is. Brian doesn't just keep it in. He's got the Zidane build, Brian, it seems. Atsu to the middle to Amar. Amar now. Oh, a big, lovely chip pass into the box. Dreschke will head it away, but that's while Waha back up the field. They may just have themselves the better rub of the green here, but DVG with these sort of blocks we're seeing from Digital Sports are what's making it unique. Jeff again, he gets in there, gets a block, gets the ball back, dispossesses their opponent. You know, they're not scared of Al Waha, and that's the key thing. You can't go in scared against a team like this, otherwise you will get absolutely embarrassed. These guys are taking the game to Al Waha. Sus now with the ball back. Seguelas across the left-hand side. Saran, Dries, Bass, 1-2. Here we go. Saran again, trying to make that movement forward. DVG will win it back in the centre, now trying to move himself forward. Great feet, and Enes has found. Enes cuts back inside, turns to Bocberto. He'll go down to DVG. DVG turns it back around. Bocberto's there, passes it to Gold. Gold now finds it to Bessino, moving the ball really nicely here. Enes to DVG. DVG to Bocberto. Bocberto down to Dreschke. Bocberto over the top. If that's onside, that's an unbelievable ball. And I think it was as well. Unfortunately, the pass across goal just wasn't great in the end, but that pass was one of the best passes we've seen in this game. It should have been a goal. It should have resulted in a sweaty pass and a flick into the back corner of the net. But unfortunately, wasn't to be. Nearly half-time. Probably last attack here for Al Waha. Nope, never mind. The referee says, nah, he wants to get himself a snack at half-time. He wants to get himself a bottle of Lucozade. He's gonna blow the whistle early there. Not let Al Waha have that last attack. But 0-0 again, half-time. These teams are so built to play against each other. It's unbelievable. You know, the play styles just completely counteract each other. And at the moment, we haven't really had many people get a slip through. We've had an offside goal for one side, being Al Waha. We've had some half opportunities and half chances for Digital Sports, but they're not making them count. Neither team are making them count so far. And we'll have 45 minutes here now to potentially find the answers. But it's all down to the players. It is all down to the players. They've got to make the difference here. They've got to come up with the ideas, you know. What can they do differently now to stun the opponent? How can they throw a punch that can cause some problems? And that's what we'll have to see. What can they do? What punches can they throw? It's going to be Jeff. He goes back to Pippo. Pippo to Zambi. Zambi to the G. NS. Switches the ball. Finds Jeff. Jeff to Dresk. To Gold. Gold to Zizou. Zizou back to Dresk. Dresk tries to go forward again, but it's going to struggle to do so. Ennis now here. Here's Ennis. Back to Bokberto. Bokberto to Ennis to D the G. D the G. Going to be defeated in possession. And now it's won back by Al Waha, but Jeff does well there to win it back. Flattens Seguelas. Here's Gold now. Finds it forward to D the G. D the G tries to take it in. Thought he was going to go for a shot. We see the little arrow. That usually indicates he's going for it. But I don't know what happened. The trigger got stuck maybe. Sticky fingers. He needs to wash that controller. Bokberto intercepts. Does a good job. Down the line. Flicked on by Bassino. Zizou now as well. Out for a throw. Al Waha's turn to have a bit of pressure. Their turn to stab into the haystack. It's almost like fencing, you know, running around with swords trying to hit each other, but they're not quite hitting the mark. They've hit the chair leg rather than the leg of their opponent. And that's the problem we've got right now. We could do with hitting the opponent right between the legs. For right now, that doesn't seem to be happening. Time is ticking on down. Getting close to the 60th minute here. The second third of the match. Cruz gets a catch on the ball. And that's going to be a kick out. Headed on by Ennis. D the G. Finds it to Zizou. Zizou now tries to get it into the centre. Brian will win it back. Sarin to Seguelas. To Amar. Pippo gets an interception. There's Jeff as well. Bokberto across to Ennis. Ennis will take it through the middle. D the G there as well. D the G now to Gold. Gold to Zizou. He's away. It's 1-on-1 here. Zizou into the back of the net. Digital Sports to take the lead. It's 61 minutes in. That's absolutely fantastic from Zizou. A great pass forward from the teammates. Then Zizou takes it past 4 defenders and the goalkeeper. And Digital Sports, the unlikely heroes here, taking the lead. They soaked pressure up so well in the first fixture. The second fixture, it's on their homeland. They've done such a good job. The home ping, the home connection advantage. It's real here on FIFA. And Al Waha do respond quickly. They get a header on target, but Cruz does well in goal. He's been a very, very key part here for Digital Sports. Constantly being alert. Not letting anything past him. But now for Digital Sports, it's game management. Can they manage this 1-0 lead? Or will Al Waha, one of the favourites to win this tournament, can they find something here? They're now restricted to just 23 minutes in this game to find themselves an equaliser, to push this one just as close as extra time. That's not even to win the game. These guys are not at the races. Luke Renard won. Left Famalicão for what? Because he's not been effective at all within this matchup. And that's for certain. He has not been effective at all. And Famalicão will be watching him and waving him goodbye, it seems. Because they've picked up a replace, and they seem to be happy with the replacements they found. And it looks like Famalicão will be going forward as well. I'd expect them to beat Gil Vicente. But then again, maybe that'll be another upset. Maybe Gil Vicente will produce a massive upset there. Down the line it goes. Headed on. Pacino to Ennis. Ennis now to Gold. Can they find a second? A second will seal the deal. D to G. Maradona turn. Tries to get in there with a shot, but it is intercepted. Dries to Lucran R1. Now it's 3-on-3. Amar finds it down the middle, but Pippo says, no charm, mate. I'll take it. Atsu to Dries. Dries back to Sus. One back by Ennis. It's 3-on-3 now for the opposite side of the play. It's a switch pass over to Gold. He's been so influential in the second half of this game. He tries to play it back. It's not going to make its maker. Amar down the right-hand side now. Seguelas trying to find that cross in. Goes to the byline. Lucran R1 is there. He'll flick it back across to Dries. Dries will go to Amar. Bassino, though, says no thank you. We'll have that ball back. Amar wins it back for Waha. Pass to Seguelas. Chance to shoot. But Gerto gets in with a block. It's going to be one back as well there. Good work from the forward. I don't know who that is, but it's a very, very good interception. They've came back from the forward position to intercept there. It was Zizou, the goal scorer. So he are easily the man of the match for this game. Easily the man of the match. D to G now. Oh, to Bassino. It's a fantastically weighted pass. Perfectly weighted pass. Into the box it goes from the cross. Then Boost heads it back. Possession still with Digital Sports. They're passing the ball around well here. They're keeping possession. Game management is all they need. And they know that. And Waha are chasing at straws here. They need the ball back. They know they need a goal to keep themselves in the competition. But that's Digital Sports' favour because they're running around rigid with this ball here. They're just keeping possession. They're game managing. They're passing it around the pitch. Waha can't get anywhere near them. And here's Gold again. Keeping that possession. Keeping that possession. Taking the players. 1-2, 1-2. 3 players taken out the game. Finally, one back. But D2G gets it straight back. Out for a throw-in. It's Digital Sports. They're playing a fantastic game here. They're not losing possession. They're keeping the ball within their hands. And Al Waha, they might have the fancy logo and the fancy graphics, and maybe they have the deepest pockets, but they won't have the PFL trophy. Because Digital Sports here are 2 minutes away from making history yet again in the PFL. Beating the overdogs yet again, beating the favourites every time. It's a shot, it's a chance, but it's a block again. This defence is impenetrable. Now D2G with the victory lap. Takes it to the corner flag. He doesn't care. Digital Sports have done it again. For a second year in a row. In the same competition at the same time. A game they should never have been able to win. And they've made it happen. And they've moved across. Digital Sports. Wow. It takes a certain type of it takes a certain type of effort to do what they've just done. That's unbelievable. Digital Sports, take a bow. Al Waha, they might be winning everything everywhere else in the competition scene, but they're not winning everything anymore. Moving quickly on. That game went over, but we're going to bounce straight into this game, which has started. So, I've heard that Neom won the first leg 1-0. Now, Neom are playing against PFC Elite. PFC Elite are underneath the team Bagistas or something, BGK. So they are playing, obviously, in the white kit, and the red kit is Neom. Neom in the red kit are 1-0 up in the first leg. This is the second leg affair. Okay, so, let me just check something really quickly. I need to see who is Neom again. Because it's very easy to forget who these players are. Neom are... I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. Okay, so these are the rosters then. So, on the side of Neom, you've got Inkvrunk, Shisui... Oh, of course Neom are winning. I've just realised who the Neom roster is. Shisui Shiki, Eskrova, Lunatic, Absco, the Tico Beast, Jailings, Dylan Vix, SJ Clay, the Warren Beast, and Jacko. Now, I've not seen Tico in a long time, actually. That's crazy. But this team is absolutely unbelievable. I said it when I watched them last time. You know, these players on the same team. Absco's back in that roster as well. Now, I think Absco was missing last time for Neom. He wasn't actually getting played. Now he's playing. Oh no, maybe he was playing. I don't know. I can't remember. There's someone definitely missing from this team that was there in the previous fixture on the forward front. I think it was Troy or someone who's no longer there. But then, nonetheless, on the side of PFC Elite, you've got it's an even crazier team. These are two very, very strong teams, so this is why it's a close game. You've got Yassi, NGP, Romanino, Creativo, Tazic, Bernus Johnny, Menzo, Danny Quintus, Rapasave. Hang on, what was his name? His name's not in English. So Neom is Empire, and Absco joined Empire. Empire? We're going well back there with Empire, Moe. Empire was ages ago. Raposa Vela, Twansy, Animal, and Graham on the side of PFC Elite. Now, PFC Elite, I mean, they're one of my personal favourites. Creativo's an absolute legend. What a guy he is. Tazic as well. Good guys. However, Absco, Escrover, Shisui, Shiki, Lunat. I mean, the Neom roster doesn't end when it comes to talent. It doesn't end. I mean, these guys are one of my top 5 to win it, Neom. They are one of my top 5s to win it. But it's PFC Elite here who need to find themselves at least one goal to force this one further. So it's going to be here a corner kick for PFC Elite. Romanino! A long attempt there. You don't see him often in clubs. Flick to the back post, headed in. Shot comes in! It's Dabola! And it's an equaliser on the away leg for PFC Elite. Making this game interesting. An interesting contest, to say the least, here. Fabulous. Here's Bernus Johnny. Right, again, looking to find the winner now. Not just the equaliser, they've already ticked that box. And they've ticked that box early. Here's Tico Beast. To Warren Beast. To Jaylings. Dilvix. To Jacko. Jacko to Dilvix. Dilvix to SJ Clay, who gets tackled by Tazic. Tazic doing well here. Flicks it around. Nice pass forward. Candias to Brookie. Shisui Shiki gets another interception. Jacko to Dilvix. To SJ Clay. He's got a touch on him. But Graham makes a great save. Denying the attack. And returning possession to PFC Elite here. PFC Elite, who are currently playing at an elite level in the second leg. We didn't see what happened in the first leg, but they got beat 1-0. They're already level now after the first half of affairs in the second leg. The away leg, in fact. Maybe they just have home fear. Here's Dilvix, though. Trying to find it into the middle. Brookie there. What a good clearance that is. A header as well. No. Jaylings. Looking to go forward. Animal to Tazic. Won back by PFC Elite. The referee says half-time whistle, though. Make sure if you're liking the content, you leave a like down below. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And why don't you chat in the chat as well? Just for the sake of it. Say hello. Let us know you're here. You're really with us. You're not just ghosts. It would be nice. It would be nice. We're waiting now for the next game to go forward. But again, we are very well aware about the situations that occur. I'm just waiting to see what the scenarios hold for us. We've got MSJ, SJD, 06P in the chat. Our loyal supporter. What team is it that you support again, sir? Because you were supporting them that one time. Was it last? I think it must have been last week. Must have been last week. Unless it's Maui on a second account. Tazic goes forward. It's out for a corner. Dilvix to Tico Beast to Jacko to Warren to Tico. Tico tries to find Warren again, but Brookie gets in the way. Dybala finds it forward here to Creativo. Bernus Johnny. Absco gets in there with a big bum push. Here's Jacko. Romanino. Creativo. Tazic. Bernus Johnny. Warren Beast gets the J-Lings to Jacko. Jacko now making the manoeuvre. Back to Lunatic, trying to restart from the goalkeeper. And here's Escrover. To Shisui Shiki. He'll play it to the other side of the pitch to Easy Lunatic. J-Lings 37 here. Over the top. Brookie hits it down. Dybala goes first time. Not really the best decision making there. And a waste of a massive opportunity, I think. Something that could have been so good, but wasn't. Oh, goalkeeper comes out here and makes a fantastic save. Keeping things level. Twansy. Is going to be going forward. Switches the ball here with Animal to Brookie. Tico Beast gets interception in a great area, but Tazic will deal with the problems quickly, efficiently, and get that ball back forward where it belongs. At least if you're a fan of the PFC Elite roster. I mean, both of these rosters, I know all the players, you know. Well, not all the players. I know a lot of the players. They've played and played and played in these competitions, and I've watched and watched and watched. And again, that's why we're in a game of chess here with these teams now. Even at the earlier stage of the quarterfinals, it's like having 16 Barcelonas. You know, they're all the same quality. They're all just as good as each other. But it just comes down to how they play on the day, and that's a fantastic save from Graham. Jesus Christ, Graham. I mean, I'm not sure about his defenders, but Graham's on point. He's awake. His centre-backs need to wake up because he should never have been able to make that save in the first place. But Graham again. Wow. Well done, Graham. Jesus Christ. Again, you know, it's not often you see things like that with goalkeepers in the game. Usually you see goalkeepers doing the most crazy things, mistakes-wise. But to do what he's just done there, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Well done, Graham. That's the moment of the night so far, was Graham's save there. That was really good to see. Here's Brooksy. Oh, Brookie, sorry. Tazic now picks it up. Here's Brookie again. He goes down to Creativo. To Tazic. To Shisui Shiki. To Absco. Absco to Warren. Candias gets in the way. Here's Twansy. Candias. Benas Johnny. Dybala. Shisui Shiki gets in there with the interception. Warren Beast as well. He's going to try and drive that ball down the other way. Lunatic to Dilvix. Moving the ball well down the line. Here's Bernus Johnny. Wins the ball back. Romanino. Down the line. Bit too much power on that pass as we approach the 80th minute. Still 1-1. Shisui Shiki. Dilvix now. Down the line. That's a great ball if it's on. Great header from Danny Quintons there. Averting all danger. Here's Candelase. Finds its Creativo. Shisui Shiki will kick it out for a throw-in. Creativo. To Candias. That ball is switched to Danny Quintons, who's on a run down that left-hand side. He tries to go back, but Jacko intercepts, and now this starts a counter-attack for Neom. Neom, who are trying to get forward here. Absco to Warren. Won back well by PFC Elite here. Creativo now. Using the width. Burnus Johnny. Trying to do something fancy there with some fancy flicks. Brookie. Here's Animal. Burnus Johnny to Animal. Jacko on the throw-in. Trying to find something for his team here. Neom. Now PFC Elite back on the ball. They're going to see if they can find the last attack. A goal at the end of the game. Oh, and they might just have it here. Burnus Johnny to Tazier. Great save from Ink Frunk. Corner kick though. PFC Elite piling the pressure on the final moments of normal time. See Creativo. 4 players in the box for PFC Elite. It comes in. The header's not won. It's going to be touched again. Burnus Johnny. Another cross comes in. Headed away by Shisui. Candias now. Creativo with a flick in. Headed on. That's a great head on. But can't find a shot. I don't know what happened there, but it's up for a corner kick. One more roll of the dice here on a set piece. Are they going to try something new? You'd think they'd test it. Test something new. They do test something new. Twansy gets his head on the end of it, but unfortunately he can't direct it on target. That was a great corner. Unfortunately, though, that chance was wasted. And that's going to be extra time. I don't actually know how this works, because it's obviously you can't do 2 legs in the in pro clubs. So I don't know whether they just have to play a game again until they get to. I don't know how that works. Moe will message me, I think. Moe will message. I mean, however, I don't think it really matters what happens, because we have got another game coming very, very shortly. They'll just play a new game. They'll play a new game, but we're going to sort that out. Moe's sorting things out behind the background, so he wants me to be right back with you all. So what we'll do is we'll throw some tunes on. We'll catch you very, very shortly when we will have more confirmation of what we're doing next. But thank you for watching so far. Get yourself a drink, a glass of juice, and join us after the short break for more FC26 Pro Clubs action. Catch you soon. Welcome back from the break. We're back again here. Now we are ready to, well, we're nearly ready to go. Thankfully, Hugo put his stream on for me. The YouTube stream was great, but the problem with the YouTube streams are when I go off the screen to go onto different scenes on OBS, it decides to pause the stream. So when I come back, I'm 30 seconds or 30 minutes behind at times, and I'm wondering why I'm watching the same footage over and over again. Yeah. But there you go, that's just how it happens, unfortunately there. But thank you for both teams for getting that one sorted for me. That was really helpful of you. That's what we like to see. Okay, now then, what the fliggin' hell's going on there? Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're waiting for the teams to go in and compete. And we're here, actually. They've gone straight into it. No messing around whatsoever. GSK for the win. It's going to be a close game. It really is. I mean, two really good rosters here. But the For the Win roster have been going for a while together as a team, as a unit. And, you know, that sort of team synergy, it can get you places. Family proof of the pudding, if you will. They've done it for many seasons now. Very similar rosters with season on season. But if we just take a little bit of a dive into those rosters then, you've got X-Ment in goal, you've got Brunex in as left centre-back, Pavlidis in centre, Angelo PT R centre-back, ultra left midfield, Hugo RLM at LDM, Fabian Quiros as CAM. You've then got Mo Rafa, Mike Wada, Ganchis 05 and Santos as your front five. On the side of GSK Esport, you've got Cactus in goal, Jokka, Neutralini, Siba, RLC, M. Manikson, Nupek, Big Varmy, IP Rug, Slasky, Natsu and Joker. So both teams here have strong players. Both teams have players that we've seen before. Both teams have players that we've seen win things before. However, the main question is, which team can win today? Now, I believe this is the first leg between these two teams. So this game won't be the final score. And the game that we've just watched, they have rescheduled their game for about an hour's time. So they'll be doing theirs in an hour's time off stream. And that'll decide who'll win. I think that's the pressure of the stream got to them. Unfortunately, no, I'm joking. They have to do a separate competition. They have to play a match for that. The VPG, because they hog a lot of the time. You know, the VPG tries to have everyone there for basically 25 hours a week. As if it was a full-time job, without the players actually receiving the payment of a full-time job. But here we are now, Hugo RLM making that movement. Lovely pass. Lovely to Mike, to Fabian. He goes down once more. Nice movement! And the shot, is that deflected? For a corner, though, it's not. It was just a really poor shot. Now, GSK, then. Let's see. How are they today? Not very good. Only joking. They have got a corner kick here. GSK in the blue shorts and the white t-shirt. Let's see what they can do with the ball here. The goalkeeper is in his goal. Cross comes in. It's headed out. Cross comes in. Dealt with and controlled by the players. Angelo tries to get rid of the ball here. Down the line. The Ultra. To Hugo. To Santola. Back to Hugo. To Mo Rafa. To Santola. To Ganchus. And the referee says offside. Bit of tussle and ruffle. And a bit of need for a pullback, I think. The referee. But here we go again. Moving down the line. IP Rug will switch the ball. Nupek to Manikson. Manikson back to Varmy. Varmy now across the Viper. He's going to be moving forward. Dultra will get in there. Clear that ball down the line. Hugo as well. On the end of it. Nice touch and nice tackle. Slasky to Natsu. Natsu back to IP Rug. Nupek to IP Rug. To Manikson. To Slasky. To Natsu. Mo Rafa will clear it away. Dultra will play it across the field to Hugo. Hugo will switch the ball. Angelo controls. Trying to move it now. Here's Santola. And Mo Rafa. Intercepted, but Ganches gets in there, wins it back. Hugo. Intercepted again. IP Rug will take over. Headed back. Angelo here. Traniso. Moving it, Fabian here. Hugo now. Good switch across the field. Here's Angelo. To Santola. Finds it back to Hugo, who finds to Fabian. Over, nice, a great ball of onside to Ultra. Ultra first time, flicking, shot comes in. Cactus with a great save, pricking that ball. Taking all the venom out of it. Because that could have been it. It really could have been. Now then. Cleared out from GSK. Ultra gets there. But it's won back by GSK here, and they're going to look to try and find a goal just before the half-time whistle. It is a For The Win host. For The Win are usually a team predominantly based in Portugal. However, that may have changed. Whereas I believe this is a Polish team, GSK. Poland. Fabian over the top ball. That's onside. That's dangerous. Ganches is through. Plays the fast one-on-one with the goalkeeper. No offside flag given. Santola gets the lead for The Win here. GSK were completely taken over. It was that first pass across over the top of the defence which really killed GSK. What a perfectly timed run and a perfectly timed pass. And then a little sweaty pass across to finish it one-on-one. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Santola with the goal. For The Win host, though, should expect them to be winning this match. But let's see how much they can win by. It's the same pass again. And it's going to be through. One-on-one. The referee this time says that's offside. But you can see where the main sort of target point is. Hugo is also now on to where his main passing point is going to be. Where can we try and abuse and use, you know, as much as possible? Here we go. Newpeck. Fabian will intercept. Clears it long. That's a great challenge from Santola to find Ganches. Ganches into the middle. Cuts it across. It's blocked off and cleared away. But that looked dangerous again for The Win. Certainly the team with the majority of the chances of the game. The passing, the style of play. It's spicy. It's a little bit of everything. You know, it's a bit of tapas. But hopefully they can keep it up. Hopefully they can keep it up. Let's see. Let's see. What can we expect to change in the second half? I mean, we need to see a big difference from GSK here. They've been very quiet in that first half. I wonder what they can provide here. That's the main thing, is seeing what these boys can provide, see what changes they can make. Can they implement any techniques or strategies that they may have taken and learned whilst being away? I don't know. I do not know whatsoever. But here we go now. It's a corner kick. It's headed on. Goalkeeper gets on the end of it. And Newpeck will clear it for long and far, but it's always For The Win at the moment, who seem to have the rub of the green in terms of pressure. Fabian. He goes down the line here to Dultra. The Ultra. He's the Ultra. Newpeck. Twirling and whirling. Jotka finds the Mannixon. It's going to be one back though. Fabian Queiroz. Hugo. Santa Cazorla. Maya was off the pitch. He was not in a position where he was allowed to take the ball further. Now it's sent down the line It's headed. Whoa, no, it's put out by Anisiso Carabal there. Hugo. Not going to be able to control the ball. It just got for a throw, an IP rug on the end of it. He's going to throw the ball here. Hugo. It's a good attempt at a pass forward. Hugo's going to get it back again. Moving the ball again around the field. Very well. That's a great touch forward from Santo. Great save from the goalkeeper. But again, I mean, for the winner, just really finding these gaps in GSK. They're finding their ways forward. They are really finding themselves a way forward. And that's a great cross in. Let's see here. The header is found. Cleared away by Mannixon this time. Flicked on by Use Your Brain. IP Rug can't control it though. Now here's Santola. Offside. For the win, top their group as well. It's important to say. For the winner, a real force at the moment. Now here's Slasky. Now, towards the middle. Mo Rafa making the move now. Fabian. Here's Santola. Mo Rafa. Over the top. Control is found by Santola. Offside again, though. They're getting caught offside now, which I think was the original plan. But it wasn't really executed to the greatest of abilities. There's only two teams who went unbeaten in the competition. Famalicão lost. GSK lost 2 games, probably both to Famalicão. BP Esport did not make it. Who was BP Esport? Unbelievable. That's going to be over the top. It's a good header away. Bit of a fight back from GSK now. Here's Big Varmy to IP Rug, to Nupek, to IP Rug. Use your brain, bro. Let's keep in possession here. GSK finally finding some form. But it's going to be cleared out. And unfortunately, it's not looking good. Nupek now, moving the ball well. I mean, to be fair, if you keep it to 1 goal on your away fixture, it's very accomplishable. You know, as we've seen many a times now. We've seen, just in the previous game, the equaliser come in the Neom PFC Elite fixture. PFC Elite are a very good team. As we know. It's good clearance. Varmy to PP Rug. Now here's Nupek. Here's RO16. Natsu. Back to Mannixon, who tries to find some form of a grasp on the ball, but he can't. And it's just counter-attack, counter-attack, counter-attack for the win at the moment. However, good interception again at the midfield by GSK. They try to flick to the back post. It's headed back down. Natsu is there. Goes back to Nupek, moving the ball. Varmy to IP Rug. Tries to flick it over, but Brumex gets in there. Before the win being put under a little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure. Maybe enough pressure to equalise this game, which would be massive for GSK's hopes of going further in this tournament. I know they were keen that they could win this game. They said, you know, we're not too fussed with this opponent. I mean, it's crazy how For the Win are only 1-0 up. They've had so many opportunities to go ahead. It could genuinely be 2 or 3. But it looks like it'll just be 1. For the time being. And here's Angelo. Oh, it's going to be 1 back though. I don't know what happened there. I thought it was a foul, but it's not going to be given. GSK are going to win the ball back, and they're on the attack. They're going to go to the side. Manikson's there. Goes back to Varmy. Varmy now to Nupek, to Natsu. Tomo Rafa. Angelo. Brumex. Hugo. Pass it down the line. Oh, it's going to be one here. Santola. Can they find a second at the end of the game? Santola tries to go for the shot. Neutralini gets a great interception. Slashki gets the ball back properly here for GSK. Wins a foul as well. Takes a yellow card. Ultra there. Tactical foul. Now at the 89th minute. Probably one last attack here for GSK to equalise this game. Great ball from Natsu to Manikson. Manikson intercepted though by Maikwe. Depends on the direction of this header. It looks like it will be last attack GSK. Big Varmy now. That's a great ball to Manikson. Manikson gets a corner for GSK. Hugo was trying to quit too early there. Steady on, Hugo. You've got to defend the corner first, mate. You've got to defend the corner. Could GSK find an equaliser from a set piece? They go toward it. It's going to be saved by the goalkeeper. 1-0 for the win in the first leg. We'll take the lead. And that is, folks, all that we have for you this evening. With that 1-0 win for the win, they still have a second leg to play to determine who will go forward with them. The likes the same with PFC Elite and etc. We know that Al Waha have been knocked out by Digital Sports 1-0. Digital Sports will progress into the next round and face either Gil Vicente or Famalicão. Again, we'll find all that information out for our next stream, as I believe all the round 1 game or round of 16 games are happening this week. So, with that being said, at 9:10, I'm absolutely draft knackered. It's been a massive day. Big thank you again for having me on to the PFL. Those guys are brilliant. Moe's brilliant, and we cannot complain at the love that we've received for this competition. Just 555 of you watching this tonight, watching the games go by. Really, really grateful to have you all here with us, although you're not very talkative. But what I will say is, what we can try and do in the future is hopefully get more and more people, hopefully get onto Twitch as well. That's a big thing, trying to move onto Twitch and then get the whole thing turning. But maybe from the 14th then for that competition, the Euros competition. Again, if you want to get involved with that, then look at Twitter and PFL Esports, and also join the Discord and make sure that you're staying up to date with all the different competitions and news if you want to sign your team up to the competition. But no, for tonight, we've had our 4 matches, and we'll be back next Wednesday. Same thing again, same time again with the round of 8, the quarterfinals, and we're going to be moving in closer and closer to that finals date. And again, we're really excited to share that experience with you. So thank you very much this week for joining us again, and we'll catch you again same sort of time next Wednesday. And I'll be here, maybe joined by someone else, maybe on my own. I don't know yet. Moe will keep me in the loop. But big thank you to everyone for watching, and I will catch you all again very, very shortly next week. Cheers, guys.